Hey, this is Cam Janssen, and you're watching Three Lawyers Eating Sandwiches. Let's go.
This is
very special
welcome
episode.
Back. Season 2, episode
10 or 11.
I don't know.
We're cruising now.
We've got
we got our biggest guest of the season.
I would say
thus far.
Yeah.
You want to do the intros?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Cam Janssen here today.
For those living under a rock in St. Louis, because you're pretty well known in the area.
I think Steve Ewing's probably more popular than I am.
He brings the hot dogs.
I like him a lot.
You don't bring any hot dogs with you. That's the biggest difference.
Now, how did there is a like a children's book with the same name?
The redheaded girl.
How did that happen?
Well, it's only one S in Janssen on that. But I get people send me that all the time. Fans will send me those, and I'll sign them for them and send them back. So just
total coincidence.
Total coincidence.
Because it's not a common name.
Redheaded girl that goes and solves mystery.
Yeah.
I'm not solving mysteries. I was fighting guys.
Is it like a Scandinavian name? Is that it?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
you figure the Janssen.
Two
Maybe
S's.
Johansson
Probably is what it was back in the day. But yeah, it's funny that book gets brought up all the time, and it's just a little, probably like 9 or 10-year-old redheaded girl, cute little girl, and she solves mysteries.
Well, clearly it's based on you. I mean, on that description alone, a 9, 10-year-old redheaded girl.
What happened to him?
What happened to him?
Right. Well, you remember when they created that character that was clearly based on him.
Yeah.
And he sued over that.
Sued him and made a lot of money.
Did he make money?
Yes, he did.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
You got to go after that 9-year-old girl.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I know a law firm.
He resisted the temptation to just beat them up.
But you should have seen the Twister one. Was really bad. Domestic violence and stuff. And I think the character's name was Anthony Tony Twist. And so it was really weird. And of course,
painted him in a negative light,
big time. I don't know why this guy did this.
Is painting you in a wonderful light.
Exactly.
You're
I'm solving mysteries that I haven't done
girl,
yet.
And you're making life better for the people up there.
Yeah, your other alternative reality where you're a little redheaded girl.
Exactly. I've always wanted to be.
I've gotten to know you pretty well because you do a show every morning with Jim Hayes, the sideline reporter from the Cardinals. And you seem like, one of these gentle giant guys. But as a player, you were an enforcer. You were known for the fights that you were in. What were you like as a kid? Were you a schoolyard fight kid or not?
Kind of, yes. But I was friends with people, but I had an older brother who was 18 months older than me. We grew up way out in the woods in Pacific, and we had freedom. My mom and dad were very lenient, and I just hung out with his older buddies all the time, and we would fight, and people, they would pick on me, and I'd have to stick up for myself. And my dad's a tough kind of guy. He's a waterproofer. My mom went back to school to become a nurse at Clayton Jail, so she had to deal with they're tough. They're both tough, and so I wanted to, I don't like getting picked on, for one. And when you got these guys that are just picking on you all the time, you have to stick up for yourself. So I kind of had that always in my blood. But then once the hockey thing came around, I kind of turned that into, I monetized it, let's say that.
Yeah. Do you think your mom could beat up Ed?
Oh, yeah.
Well, she passed away a couple years ago, so I would say
now it's just 50-50.
My odds have improved.
No, I still would bet on the mom.
Yeah, I'm just saying my odds have improved.
No,
I'm not saying I've crested the 50% mark.
Yeah,
but that's crazy. Now you were raised in Eureka. I don't think of Eureka, Missouri as a hotbed for hockey. How did that become your
soccer,
sport?
Probably, right?
Or something else.
Well, I grew up like way out in like Cedar Hill, and then we moved into Eureka, but it was really Pacific because we're way down Highway FF, if you guys know where that's at. Very dangerous road in the middle of the woods. It was just by Black Madonna Shrine. But when you grow up out there, none of my buddies knew hockey, but my dad took me to Cardinals games, and I'd walk around like, oh, cool, this is nice. He took me to a Blues game one time, and he sat me he had got tickets, and I was right by the glass. We went for warm-ups, and Chaser and Holy and Twister were all cruising around in the early 90s, and they hit the glass, and I'm like, hey, and I just remembered that. And then Tony Twist pounded somebody. And I'm like, wow,
a dream was born.
I go, what is that? I go, what is he doing? And then Chaser, who's not a very big guy, went out and he's roughing everybody up. Everybody's scared of them. And then Brett Hall with his mullet his look goes down and scores 2 goals. Twister's in the penalty box. He takes off all his gear. I see the women going crazy. I'm like, what? I just remember that as a kid. I became obsessed with it. So the Blues got me into hockey. So there's no ice anywhere. We live way the hell out there. So I got rollerblades, and I rollerblade in the basement, and the stick handle around the basement. And my buddies would come over. Wow. We all got rollerblades, and that's how I started.
Isn't that something? You wouldn't think that rollerblades would convert that easily to ice hockey, but apparently it does.
They do, I think.
Really?
It's different.
I'm terrible at both of them. I can't skate. I bought rollerblades one time, foolishly, and I made one of these little contraptions to hold on to that you sometimes see.
That's how you start.
Like a walker?
Yeah, like a walker. And I made it myself out of PVC. I did not even get to the end of my driveway. I fell, landed on my shoulder so hard, I took the rollerblades off right then and there. I never put them back on.
That's quite a commitment to wondering. How old were you when you wanted to rollerblade so bad?
I was in my 30s. Yeah.
You didn't grow up skating?
I might have. No, my dad. I was very athletic, surprisingly. My dad was a gym teacher, and I learned all of the sports except anything involving skating.
I grew up in Clayton.
Is that food? Do you want to bring that in? Bring it on in.
And we had an ice rink.
We want to eat.
A community ice rink.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
So that was a big thing growing up, is people spent their weekends at the ice rink. So through that, I learned to skate.
Well, kids stop. I almost quit because I couldn't stop on the ice. I couldn't stop. That's the hardest part. I was able to get up and just kind of get my stride going, but I couldn't stop. I would toe pick and fall into the boards and, hurt your AC joint or whatever. So that was very annoying as a kid. And a lot of kids go through that phase where once they learn to stop, now they're addicted. Because there's nothing cooler than skating or rollerblading, because you're just faster and everything else. And if you learn how to stop, now you're comfortable doing it. It's not like running. Like, you have so much more freedom.
How do you stop on rollerblades?
You kind of turn real quick. Now
People
that I
can
skate,
hockey stop on
you can hockey
rollerblades
stop on it.
somehow.
It's a lot
It's
different.
crazy.
You just have to turn. It's like a really quick U-turn.
It just
If you
seems
had some, I'd
dangerous
show
to
you
me.
real quick, but I'd probably toe
rollerblading.
pick.
I can't believe I used to rollerblade. I mean, it's
Dangerous.
Yeah, I have a
But you
friend.
have good balance because
Big
you
time.
ski, you snowboard.
I can skate, but I have a friend.
Tightrope walks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where I went to college at the University of Wisconsin, there was something called Bascom Hill, just a hill with a building at the top. And there's a sidewalk down it, but it was really steep. And I had a friend who is, I'm sure you know these people, who are just, I don't know if it's fearless or stupid or
Fearless,
a little both.
stupid.
I'm going stupid.
And he would
Makes me feel better.
as fast as he could
On rollerblades.
sprint down this hill. I mean, he must have been going 60, 70 miles an hour. It was insane.
Yeah,
And
that's
have you ever
I'm
seen
going with
those one
stupid.
wheels?
That's stupid.
The one wheels, the
Yeah.
single wheeled unicycles.
Those were supposed to
that you
get much
stand
more
on.
popular, but they don't seem to have taken off.
I'm sorry, not the one. Not
It's like
the
a
one
skateboard
wheel.
that has one wheel on it.
not that. That's probably just as bad. It's the ones that you straddle and you're facing straight and there's a wheel. I see people ripping through my neighborhood like 50 miles an hour.
Really?
If you hit something,
You're dead.
You're dead.
nothing. You're just flying.
Or
There are a
brain
lot of
damage.
good videos on.
Well, people
YouTube.
with those scooters downtown too, with the potholes, they're just not paying attention. They're going pretty fast. They hit that pothole.
I feel like
and they're-
the scooters are kind of dying, though, aren't they? They were real hot when they first came
depends
out.
on what city, I guess.
You
Yeah.
ride one?
Yeah, I rode. Remember, I went with you, Andy. And you took some video footage of it
Yeah.
because you knew I'd never get back on it. Is that the pork tenderloin sandwich?
is
By
the
the way,
pork- we're starting with the
Lord.
big-
let me say that.
I like a sandwich where the meat
Yeah,
extends
and this-
over the
yes.
bun.
A pork tenderloin sandwich. Now, if we were in Kansas City, this is like a Kansas City staple because you can get them all over the place. But in St. Louis, only Seamus McDaniel's, which is who we're featuring today, and the Village Bar out in Des Peres are the only places I know of
You
that
know who
have a
used to have
traditional
them?
pork tenderloin.
All the Dairy Queens used to have.
Really?
Yeah, and they were good.
when they were braziers.
Let me tell you, to me, this is why one of my favorite sandwiches is just a good old breaded pork tenderloin sandwich.
I agree.
Usually I throw a little mayo
No,
on
I
there.
want you to know I
Oh,
washed
wait.
my hands before handling everyone's food.
It just does not matter. I'll take that.
Well, if you know where my hands had been, it
This,
didn't matter a
this
little
plate-
more.
this plate didn't get any fries.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I also
No, he didn't know whose it was going to be, so I don't take it personally.
You know, I want to warn you. Pace yourself.
Okay, but you don't mind if
that
I go
mistake.
hard. You're right, and I appreciate the
Does
warning.
this have mayonnaise on it? Have you ever had mayonnaise
should.
on these? Yeah.
It should. This one doesn't, but I'm sure it came in the bag. But you need it. Yeah, normally you get it. We'll put it
If
mayonnaise.
there's any mayonnaise, but it's much better with
Oh
mayonnaise.
man, that's good.
Not good.
You know, listen,
I have a gift for you, Ed.
I will say this.
Thank you.
Pork is by far the most flavorful of all the meats. I think here's mayo.
I agree.
Incoming. Go ahead. We have 4 professional athletes here.
Give us. You want another one?
We have one and 3 guys who
I
like
have a gift
mayonnaise.
for you, Ed.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe one of the greatest gifts anyone's ever given you. And it's not a physical gift.
Is it a hug?
It is information.
Oh, I love an information.
Ed hates air shows. Thinks they're so stupid.
Yeah. Because every
Waste
year
of
a
money.
couple of planes go down.
Yeah.
And
I
it
see
seems like
that
a
a
waste
lot.
of human life and a waste of gasoline.
I'm about to tell you something that truly shocked me.
Waste of gas, too. Yeah.
The Blue Angels, right? Arguably the greatest pilots
man.
to ever exist, certainly in the arena of air shows, right?
Yeah.
What percentage of them, well, how many do you think have died in the history of the Blue Angels? In planes, not like
In
a
air
heart
shows?
attack. Yeah.
5.
Well, I don't know if they were in air shows, but in plane crashes while flying for the Blue Angels.
How many total Blue
Under
Angels
10.
are there?
Huh?
I'm going to say 5% of them have died.
You're wrong. 26 Blue Angels have died in the course of flying. 1 in every 10 people who has ever been a Blue Angel died flying an airplane for the Blue Angels.
There it is.
So
then.
that is vindication
is.
on a level
There it
that
is.
you cannot dispute.
Thank you very much for
If
that.
you were going to be hired a
Can't
job
do
that
it.
you're going to die with that percentage, you would say no every time.
That
And
should
these are the-
end air shows.
Yeah, these are the best in their trade.
That should be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like by
Highest technology.
by a magnitude of 1,000.
But they're doing things that no other pilots do. No other pilots fly in a formation with their wings.
Some of them do.
Yes,
Not like-
that's
I mean,
but that's
some
the
of the
point.
things
Is that
They're
stuff
really
them-
close.
It's too
You see the
dangerous.
body- You see the camera video, and right in the cockpit there. It's pretty interesting to see how they do
wonder
it.
if that's more dangerous than being a combat pilot.
I doubt 1 in 10 combat pilots
I
have
wouldn't
died.
think so at all.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's
certainly not if you go throughout history.
They
Maybe
could
during
be-
World
What do you think
War
the most
II.
dangerous job is? I would say not like
those-
a miner in a third world country.
Crab,
the fishermen in the North
Loggers.
Sea.
The
Oh, loggers,
yep.
yeah, that's dangerous.
Really dangerous. Loggers.
Roughnecks
That
working on an oil rig.
That Northern
That's just
Sea, have you ever
hardcore.
seen the boats on there, like on TikTok,
Oh, it's
and show
horrible.
you how rough those waters are? When they go
yeah.
on those fishing expeditions, they'll do it for like 6 months at a time.
you
They
get
make money.
seasick?
Yeah,
It would
we
be
all
more-
do. I would
Yeah,
say
I mean,
if you're in those waters,
those
we would be
circumstances,
in hell.
That's true.
Yeah, of course.
How about a bail bondsman?
So I think a bail bondsman
I think a bail
can be a
bondsman
dangerous
probably
job.
comes with a lot
My
of
father
risk
was a
and
bail
fear,
bondsman.
Really?
Yeah.
but you don't ever hear about them getting whacked.
Well,
You
that's
don't
because
hear
nobody ever
about
hears
it.
it.
Yeah, there
They
it is.
disappear.
Yes.
I kind of
They
like
get
the sound of that.
unalived. We got to watch the language.
Oh,
we
is that
use.
right?
I
Well,
was
for-
shocked when I
for
saw
purpose.
that. That should truly end air shows. That should be the end.
Thank
is
you.
crazy.
I've been pushing for it for years. Getting back quickly to hockey, everyone knows you hit very hard.
Ooh, that was.
But I am
quick.
curious, who hit the hardest?
As far as what? Who's the toughest fighder that I had to deal with, or who hit me with a hit?
Yeah,
I've gotten
let's go
Let
both.
me tell
Yeah.
you. I'll tell you right now. I used to. I played in the NHL. Yeah, I was really tough for a small guy. I fought all the heavyweights. Guys are 6'7". Had to go toe to toe with them. It's all on YouTube. You just look it up. But I was good at hitting guys. I was fast enough to get in there and athletic enough to be able to time these hits and be able to really hit guys. So that's how I stayed in the NHL.
You're one of the little guys?
Yeah. I was 5'11" and a half, 6 foot, 210.
You were 210
Now
and
I'm
you're
240.
Yeah,
'cause
but
I
not
drink
according
beer.
to Wikipedia.
I
They still
drink
have
beer.
you at 210.
No, I'm not. I'm
Gotta have to
245.
update that wiki.
When you what that scale, where that scale is, I'll show you. I'm just god awful. So I was young, but the guys I was fighting, the heavyweights of the league, were gigantic. So I had to have a game plan in there. But the hardest hit I've ever had was at home. My wife, it was in 2010, 2011. I was playing for the Blues. My wife, I just started really dating her. Her parents come for the first time. It's one of her first games at home. I think it was one of the first games of the year. And I'm coming down and I'm about to hit a guy. And one of my teammates, who was 6'4", 240, comes down the wall. It's on the YouTube. It's disgusting. And we both try to hit the same guy at the same time, and he knocks me out. touches me. I crack my sternum with my stick, like, bam.
Oh.
Cracked it, knocked me out, hit my head. And I'm like, literally, my eyes go, it's horrific. My eyes go crazy. And I'm like choking on my tongue a little bit. I try to get up. They come out. I go to the hospital that night. My whole family's there. We're in the hospital. There's a TV in there. They keep playing it over and over again on Fox Sports. So I texted Mike Caruso. I go, who's in charge of that department? I go, can you tell them to stop playing that? My parents are crying. So my own teammate knocked me out the hardest. It was bad. It was bad. You can look it up, Brody. Nasty. No, but I caught him with a really good hit one time. Really good hit. Put him down. I knocked the wind out of him. Otherwise, he would have fought me. That would have been a tough one.
Was that your favorite aspect of the game? Did you just like sort of the roughness of it?
I had no idea. I was a first-generation hockey player. I grew up with nobody even playing anywhere. My dad had to take me everywhere an hour away for practice. So I just learned stuff so quick. And by the time I was 16, 17, I started when I was 11, 12. So that's really late. So I just had to figure things out. But I knew I was athletic and learned how to skate quick. But I just had to figure things out. But I knew I was tough. So,
but back then, hockey, there was a way bigger focus, I think, on the violence and the fighting in hockey, wasn't there?
Yeah. But if you watch the playoffs now, they still kill each other. I mean, they're killing each other.
Do you have a temper in real life?
Oh gosh, yeah.
And so
sure.
How do you had a release before that allowed you to get that out. What do you have now?
I'm kind of chilled out now. Thank God.
What do you do when the temper comes in?
I've been through so much. Well, I mean, now, road rage I don't have. I skate with the guys. I have a good life, and I'm happy.
Yeah, but
you
can't be happy all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll yell at the dog because she did something, but not. I just don't get that wound up. Now I have to do radio with Jim the Cat Hayes, and sometimes I want to smack him around. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
He doesn't mind if you smack him.
No, he doesn't. Well, litigation will come, I'm sure, if that, how that goes. Sure. But no, so it just depends. I don't even work out that much, to be honest with you, to really let it out. But I think I was always able to control that. You have to be able to control that. Have you heard of me fighting guys at a bar? If I would have done something crazy, you would have heard about it.
Right. No.
You know what I mean?
That's why I asked.
I know how to chill, and I've done so much when it comes to, I'm kind of worn out. Yeah. Even from that, my brief stint in the NHL, 10, 12 years, whatever it was, it got a lot out of me. You get the
fighting out of your system.
It's not a brief stint.
When was the last time you were in a fight?
What's that?
When was the last time you were in a fight outside of a hockey game?
Oh, when I was young.
So it's been a long time.
Oh, God, yeah. But when I was in high school, I'd want to be tough at parties and stuff. And I'm like, the girls like this. Meanwhile, no. They like it when you're making money and you're doing it in front of 20,000 people. But if you're a tough guy, but I just wanted, I started boxing. I played every sport. I played soccer, football,
What was your second best? What was your second best sport?
I probably could have been pretty good at football, inside linebacker, probably. Beat up the middle and stick guys, yeah. I was fast. I was a good track runner.
Well, you left high school early because you had an opportunity to play professional hockey.
Yeah.
You skipped your senior year. Was that a tough decision in your family, or was everybody supportive, or was your mom my little baby's got to get his high school diploma?
They're like, go do your thing. Go do your thing. Oh, you got to move to Canada? And where's Windsor? What's up?
Did you still go there? When you were at the Dome, were you still at Eureka?
Yes. I was 15, 16 years old. I was the youngest kid on that team. My buddies would come out, skip high school to come watch me play, and I would fight all these 21-year-olds. You should look at the video. It's hilarious.
Was it pretty clear before you went to Canada that you had a real shot at playing in the NHL?
I dominated AAA hockey, which is the best league you can play as a kid in St. Louis. All these kids are making it. Brady Tkachuk, Matthew, Clayton Keller, all these monsters. They all play AAA here in St. Louis. And I'd go to these tournaments and dominate. I would score goals and just dominate. And these agents would go out to my dad and give him cards and stuff like that. I had a agent, a family advisor at the time at 14, because my parents weren't making money. This was expensive as hell. They're paying for everything. So he would help out and buy me my skates and stuff like that. So I knew I knew when I was 13 years old I was going to make the NHL. And that sounds weird, but I don't know. I was confident.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't even skilled. I had no idea about the game. I had to learn the whole game.
Did you have any strategy? In other words, was a fight just an instinctive?
No.
Andy, she's trying
Strategy, big time.
But in other words, before the fight started. So how long before the fight started were you kind of had made your mind up?
I knew what I was going to do with everybody's different. So if a guy's 6'7", I got to be patient because he's got the reach on me. He's going to knock me out, and I'm going to be choking on my tongue in front of everybody. Can't have that. Don't want that. That sets you back. Don't get knocked out. But if a guy's my size, I'm going to be a little bit more loose, and I could switch up on him and do this and do that. So it depends on who I'm fighting. But I had a different strategy for every single guy.
What about pulling the jersey over there?
They're tied down now, so it's tough to do that. Not to mention, they tried to do that to me because they had everybody was bigger than me. The guys I'm fighting were the toughest guys, so they're all big. So they tried to do that, and I had my way of getting out of it and getting my arm out of my jersey so I had more leverage. I mean, it was a game within a game. It aged me bad, and my parents after a while.
Bad. But before I just want to say something. This Reuben is good.
Oh, yes.
I like that a lot. Did you get him some of the Thousand Island?
I did.
So
That's a good Reuben.
Did you box
That's an
prior
honest Reuben.
to your hockey career? You learned how to fight a little bit?
Very good sandwich, by the way. Just look in the camera real quick.
Yeah.
My dad taught me how to box in the basement with a heavy bag. Once I started playing, and I knew this was coming, at 15, he dropped me off at Finney's Mixed Martial Arts, Shamrock, baby. Jesse Finney's. It was one of the most intimidating things ever. He's like, Cam, I paid for it. I got you 13 sessions. Sorry.
People are used to it. That's the thing. Is talking.
No, I know. I watched.
I went there for a little while. I boxed there for a little while. That place is great.
It's just a little. It was in Crestwood. When I was 16, my dad's like, I got you this. Go in there. Already paid for it. So I walked in, a young kid, and I walk in there, and all these badass dudes are just. They're looking there. Everybody's fighting. I'm like, it's the most intimidating thing in the world. They were the nicest people ever. They would do anything for you. They took me under the wing. But I learned how to box and hockey fight train at the same time. I don't need to know how to box somebody on the ice. I need to hockey fight you. There's a big difference. But you know how to eat a punch, duck out a punch, throw with both hands. There's a lot to it. So I created a hockey fight training session with these guys that I brought. Now I brought all these young kids that came up that were starting to play pro, and I kind of created this thing with Jesse Finney, where it's
that's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Do you when you came into the league, was there anyone left still grandfathered in who didn't have to wear a helmet?
No, Craig McTavish was the last guy. He was 2000.
Was in the
That's
2000s,
a good question,
right?
actually.
It was
Wasn't
close.
it Craig McTavish?
Probably just missed it.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's where I was going with this. Now, people didn't have to wear face masks, right?
I didn't have to wear a visor. I didn't have to wear. I had to wear a visor in juniors. You had to wear a cage when you're young, and then once you start playing major junior, which is, I told you, the best junior leagues in the world, you could have a half shield. So when I'm fighting these guys up there, we keep our helmets on sometimes, and I'm literally punching the guy and I have to punch through his visor, which messed my hand up like you can't believe. But then once you get in the NHL, you could take the visor off. Now they all have visors.
Yeah,
everybody.
But how did the goalies do it? That's the remarkable.
Isn't that crazy? Well, do you see their faces? These old guys that didn't wear masks.
Oh, Lord!
It looks like railroad track.
These are not good faces.
So that's where I was going.
Not good.
You played hockey for what, 10 years?
More.
Well,
in the NHL.
yeah, in the NHL,
Okay.
yeah.
What? Like, can you even imagine playing that game without a helmet?
No, because I fell down so many times.
You'd be dead.
I would.
I know. It's amazing.
I wouldn't hold a conversation with you guys.
It's really remarkable that, especially once people knew better,
I know,
that they still didn't wear. I'm sure there was an ego involved at some point.
Well, you're just calm, but I don't get it. I just don't. We've had Craig McTavish on our podcast. We asked somebody. He's like, I just don't want to change anything. I'm like, okay.
Now you're doing a lot of stuff. You have a podcast of your own.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. To talk about that and how people can get it. And also you're everywhere doing a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, you're from St. Louis. You grew up here. You play for the Blues. Like, everybody. Like, meet everybody. You get connected with people. That's what you do in St. Louis. You guys know. You're here all the time. You're doing every day. Yeah. You know, feeding into businesses and whatnot, and meeting people and whatnot. But yeah, Andy Strickland, who works for FanDuel. We teamed up 6 years ago before really hockey podcasts were big. It was only Spittin' Chicklets at the time, who were gigantic under Barstool name. And we're like, let's do this. Right when the Blues won the cup, we started a podcast, and we have one of the best hockey players, of all time come on our podcast. And then Andy and I just shoot the breeze for an hour and a half. Is it rated R? Yeah, we cuss, we do this. I know it's bad for the YouTube algorithm, but we don't care. But
we can't cuss here.
Yeah, it does affect that. But it's, we sell it. People love it. We get GMs, we get owners of hockey teams on, we get whatever's trending, and but it's work. It's work. People think everybody has a podcast. No, like, there's money that goes into it. Yeah. We got to. What time could this guy come on? Everybody's like hard to get back with and stuff like that. So, but it's great, and
Do you enjoy watching hockey still?
Yes,
you do.
Yeah. Talking baseball every day is tough. That's what gets me. Yeah. Because Jimmy, talking baseball stuff for me. I know it, but I don't know it at the level of the guys that we work with.
Right.
Jimmy and
Jimmy's
Rocky.
A sideline reporter for the Cardinals.
Like, I can't.
I mean, for 24 years.
If I ask Jim something, like he kind of looks at me, it's hard for me to keep up with the conversation. So I sit back and I let them go. And if I have a question, I ask. But that's a tough thing.
Question?
Yeah.
Could we talk a little bit about your dental history? Do I have the impression?
That's a good call.
Oh, this is dang good.
Every hockey player at professional level has lost several teeth, largely in the front. You have not?
I got lucky. I wore a big mouth guard for one, because when I absorb punches, it's morbid. When I absorb punches, if I grip down on the mouth guard, it's less likely for me to get knocked out. So you go like this and you get punched. Go like this and you get punched. That's how you get knocked out. Even when I hit guys, I clamp down on that so I get more power. I know it's bizarre, but it's true. That's why, you watch Mike Tyson. He's bending down. He's blowing out. You're blowing the air out to get as much power as possible. So I got lucky. I got scars on my face. Keith Kachuk did this because he took a slap shot, hit the post, hit me in the face. But I got lucky not getting my teeth knocked out. Now, but I look back on it like we had great insurance. If I would have got all my teeth knocked out, I would have had the whitest, what do they call it?
Perfect mouth, the veneers.
Yeah, I would have got now it's going to cost me like $30,000. So I wish I would have got my teeth knocked out back in the day when I had really, really good health insurance. I would have had a bright smile for all you guys.
Well, if you ever get into a car accident and it's not your fault,
we'll get you.
There comes us. We're going to get you. We're going to keep a third of them.
That is so funny.
Lead with your mouth.
Because that's how we charge, but we'll get you those teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this. Your experience sounds a lot like a lot of the hockey players in terms of where you grew up, other than you lived in a small town in Missouri, and a lot of them came from small towns in Canada. Right. I would guess it's pretty similar.
We have a major city here. Most guys, if they're from Alberta, they're from like Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, where there's nothing going on up there. Redwater, Alberta, like nothing around there. So they really had to leave really early. We were lucky enough to where, yes, I lived an hour and a half if it took us to get way out in the woods. But at least I can get to a major city. There's still a lot of stuff around here. We just had to go an extra 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Those guys, a lot of those guys up in rural Canada, they got nothing for hours and hours. Yeah. And then you go to, Saskatoon, and it's not a big city at all. So it's kind of like the perfect Goldilocks zone.
Saskatoon, didn't we?
When was that? How long ago was that?
How crazy that is.
Remember?
Yes.
When was it?
Sorry.
That was 80s.
It came out of nowhere. Oh my God! Thank you.
So
I got a little gassy there.
Isn't that weird?
Although it's
I'm
Canada,
getting older. I don't even know when they're coming out sometimes.
No wonder they're not getting the expansion teams up in Canada. Like a lot of players don't want to play up there.
But in the 80s, the percentage of Canadians in the league versus today
You're absolutely right.
is night and day.
Now, yeah, dude.
Who are the
people
worst international players to play with?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Like
as far
the
as
Russians, the Swedes, who
Like they play dirty?
Yeah,
they
there's
fight-
good and bad in everybody. If you have a group of Russian guys that have a clique together, sometimes they kind of separate themselves from the rest of the group. But then you'll get the funny Russian guy that comes in. I got fortunate enough to play with like a Kovalchuk, which you guys probably don't know who he is, but superstar. You know what I'm talking about. Ilya Kovalchuk, nicest. So funny. He laughed at everything I said.
Isn't that the best?
It's the best thing
Those
in the
are the
world.
only people I wanna
And
hang
he's-
out with.
No, laugh at me. And I'm like, I have to be a clown in the locker room too, because that's part of my role to entertain people. So those guys, but then you get a guy that just doesn't talk to you from maybe somewhere in Eastern Europe, grew up hardcore. His dad probably had a defect back in the day or whatever the case is. So they just kind of grew up differently than a small town in the middle of the United
do they
States.
generally end up staying in the U.S.?
Oh, yeah.
None of them go back.
Oh, yeah. All the Russians are down in Florida.
Listen, we've talked about your fighting. Tell us about your hockey. How many goals did you score?
Very few.
Well,
that
in the
wasn't his thing.
In the NHL, very few. 6 total. I had 14 points, I believe, or what it was, in 336 games.
Is that a record?
For lowest amount?
Yeah.
I think I had I didn't.
For somebody who had the type of career you had.
But he was an enforcer.
I
Still.
didn't score for my first. I think 90
set a record.
Something. It was.
First goal within your second.
It was so miserable. Not that but there's a reason why I was still in the lineup, because I was doing I'm hitting guys. I'm good. Like they wanted me in the lineup, but I didn't score. It was the guys chirped me so bad. And then fans kind of, not the fans because they understood it, but like every day is like, is this going to be the day? Is this going to be the day? And then finally it was, and my mom and dad were in Jersey at the time. And I do a celebration.
Guys, do you think people remember that we're not just guys eating sandwiches, but we're actually a law firm that handles injury cases?
You think the podcast has gotten so big, they forgot about our roots?
Have they forgotten about this man, 45 years on the television, telling people that we don't get paid unless you get paid? Do you think they know that?
Tell them.
We don't get paid if you don't get paid.
There you go. You've been hurt? Call us. Now back to the podcast.
And there's a picture of me like this, like, and they're right there going crazy in the background, and I have that in my
That's
face.
even amazing.
So it was like worth it.
Yeah.
I was lucky to be there. Like,
In terms of, I mean, it's probably obviously not a record because I'm sure there are guys who came in the league, played for a year, were terrible.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine there are many players who were as good as you and played for as long and
Right. If you take the total minutes and divide it by the points, that I think is.
And also, if you rank the
know,
quality of the player, you didn't leave the league and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he lasted that long. I mean, you were.
That was your job.
That was
That's
a
right.
different role.
You
And
had a different role.
none of the goalies score any goals.
Yeah, it was some
I mean,
do.
because- well,
Actually,
then
me and Marty Brodeur, who's one of the best goalies ever with the Devils, would have. There was bets in the room at the beginning of the year who's going to have more points.
That's funny.
Because he was so good. He was able to kick the puck out, and all of a sudden we had a loaded team. So Marty would he'd make a save with a pad and make a pass at the same time, which is incredible. Never seen that before. Then they kick it up for a breakaway, and he'd go down. And somebody would score, and Marty would come by the bench and be like, that's one, Cam. Because he has an assist on that. And I'm like, oh.
Now, you had that magical year up there, right? When you guys won the President's Cup. You had the best record that year.
Yeah.
Didn't win the Cup.
No, it's such a miserable thing.
How do you talk about that? Because on the one hand, that's an incredible thing to have one of those seasons where your team has the best record in the whole sport. But then the disappointment of not getting to close it out.
So that year, 2012, I make the team, me and another tough guy who was great in the locker room, who became best friends, Eric Bolton, on the same team. And we'd be in and out of the lineup throughout the year, keeping everybody happy in the locker room, just like energetic, have to do that. So the playoffs come, we're not playing, and the Devils are cruising, doing great. Lou Lamoriello, our GM, was one of the most strict, intimidating guys in all of sports. If you look him up, he's an awesome guy, loved me, drafted me. He is a hardcore guy. They wanted me, because I'm not playing, I'm getting skated every day, meaning tortured every day, because we have to stay in shape just in case we go on the ice and get in the lineup. So it's actually a brutal scenario because the team's doing good. You're miserable because you're not playing. You're getting bagged every day, working out hard every day. Like you're just getting skated hard every single day. It was god awful. Then they asked me to come down in the locker room and give a speech before they go on the ice for every game. And I'm like, oh God, like a speech. Like when you walk in the locker room right before they get on the ice, nobody's like, eh. No, they're all like this. With a towel over their head, like, oh. Like everybody's in their own mind. And now I got to be a rodeo clown.
Right.
And go in there and create a little, spiel for like a 30 seconds, 40 seconds,
Just
whatever
to
it is.
lighten things
Just
up.
to lighten things up. So I had to get creative. That was the most intimidating damn thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow.
Even more than fighting guys. So, and it worked every time. And sometimes when I wasn't funny, they would lose. And I'd be like, oh God.
That's a lot of
Is that because
pressure.
of me?
Yes, well, and it was. It was because of
Probably
you.
because of me. Yeah, exactly. So it played mind games with me. But when you lose like that, it's a brutal, brutal, brutal thing. It's brutal.
Best hockey movie. Now, everyone would normally will say Slapshot, but you might say something different.
Oh, Mighty Ducks kid.
You're a Mighty
Absolutely.
Ducks guy.
I don't know
This
if
is
I ever
age.
saw the Mighty Ducks.
He's only 41.
Oh.
Obviously saw Slapshot.
That's the best.
That's when you get the difference in our age, because we're both 54. You're 41.
Was
Yeah.
that the McClouse? What is it, McClouse? No, Bob and Doug McKenzie. Were they in Slapshot?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah.
Wait, not the McKenzie brothers. You're talking about the.
You're talking about you're talking about
Yeah, it's
The Great
the
Outdoor.
the other brothers.
Yeah.
The Hanson brothers.
That's who was in Slapshot?
They were in Slapshot.
Okay.
Listen, Slapshot, of all the hockey movies, besides Miracle, which is
Oh,
fantastic.
that's a good movie.
Fantastic.
That is a good movie.
Slapshot is the most realistic minor league
Really?
scenario you could possibly put together.
Well,
It's
hockey
realistic.
players
It's funny.
have like the culture of what hockey players are like, it seems, is more unique. I don't know that another sport has, well, skateboarding, I think, and those
that a
types of
sport?
sports have like, there's
count?
just a
Not a team
mentality
sport.
and like almost a vocabulary and the way
Oh,
hockey
vocabulary.
players are is unique. No other sport has like, oh, all the guys are kind of like this.
Hockey
You know what I
is
mean?
100% that. Because when you're together that much, like you're just together so much, and the verbiage seeps out of even the Russian players will come over here, or the Swedes or whatever. The Swedes always speak great English. Russia's a little different, Czech, whatever, Czechia. Those guys, sometimes it takes a little longer for them to. Finland's a little. They know. I think they're a little bit better too. Finland and Sweden. But then you get Czech and Russia. Some guys don't know anything. But although they act like they don't know how to speak English, so they don't do interviews too. So they play the role a little bit. But after they get done
smart.
skating, they talk like just like a complete hockey player.
Yeah.
They'll call you, Hermie, or whatever. It's always like an E or a Y at the end of your name. And just the verbiage that comes out of some of these guys, it's like, it's the worst English ever if they want to go get a
We're gonna
job.
start calling you Croupy.
It's so fun, but it
Crouppen,
must
that's
be so
exactly
funny
right.
to have somebody learn English through hockey.
Yes, in a locker room.
Yeah.
So like if you would talk, really had a conversation with somebody, if you want, they would be like, "What are you saying to me?" It would be so bizarre.
Like in their regular life, like
Yes,
they're traveling,
they're traveling,
and they're going
and not in the hockey world. They're
Right,
like,
right.
would you call me?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You would never get hired
and they
for
don't
anything.
necessarily even realize how
They don't
bizarre
know.
it is.
They don't know.
Let me ask you a question. I understand that the hockey team meets and they have strategies of what they're going to do. For your role, did you like game out before games who you're going to go after and what the
You had to, right? I mean, that's sort of your job.
I knew. You just know. You look at the lineup. You know who's in it. Either two, probably one, maybe two guys that'll go you. And you've already played them before. And if it's a new young kid that got called up, hopefully YouTube at the time. Sometimes before I didn't have a YouTube, so I would ask people like, "Is he a lefty?" Because sometimes you don't know what he is, and you're squaring off like, what? And all of a sudden he switches on, he throws a left.
So
and you're
not
like, dang.
not the hockey. You're not talking about the hockey.
No, he's got to scout their box.
I got to do both. I got two jobs. I got to get the puck out of the zone too. I got to make a play when I get in the offensive zone. I got to be able to hit guys and bring energy. And if the puck comes on the wall and the guy's coming down, I got to be able to kick it wide and do. Oh yeah, I have to know all that. Then I got to do another job and figure out how I'm going to beat this guy up that's 6'7". So I had a game within a game. It's really interesting.
But so you knew I'm going to beat up, or I'm going to get into a fight with X, Y, or Z.
Sure.
And you would then go out and
make it
provoke a fight, or
we do. We would look at each other in warm-ups, like, "You want to do it? Yep, okay."
Now, would he usually be he would not be the same guy on their team who's doing the same thing? Right?
Oh, it's I would, unless. There's only a certain. I had a reputation at the time, like no one wants to fight you. Like they knew I was wild and tough, and I could throw with both hands. So only a certain amount of guys would do it. But I would hit guys, and then somebody would be forced to fight me that wasn't on my level, I guess what you would say. And then those are great. Those are the best.
How many one-punch knockouts do you have?
I can show you right now.
Punch?
I got a nasty one in Nottingham, England.
People don't get knocked out.
Yeah, they do.
Do they really?
I mean,
Yeah, look up hockey fight knockouts. You'll see them.
But how much with YouTube getting big and social media getting big?
Yeah.
And because people love that stuff, do you think that there's been a movement where people jump to that, like because they know it's going to get them seen a million times on YouTube, it's going to raise their profile?
Hockey game?
Yeah, in sports in general. Like,
Oh, well.
how much of that do you think is, hey, if we can do this, we're going to get 1 million views on this?
You're already making a ton of money.
Oh yeah, I'll bet there's a lot of that now. You're doing it
for hockey
for the
players.
gram.
For hockey players, they're out there playing.
Instagram.
If they fight, if they have to
Now,
fight somebody, then they have to do it. And yeah, you want to knock the guy out. Of course, that's why you do it. But the game's so fast, you're not thinking that way.
No.
Yeah.
I got to warn you before you eat this.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but the box
Is it hot?
said butt pasta.
Oh, we like butt pasta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Buffalo
Buffalo
chicken.
chicken. Now
Okay,
we
so
didn't.
those
We
are-
did not
that's
comment.
not
that's the
teas.
best possible outcome.
Yeah, it really is. We did not comment on the bacon blue cheeseburger.
What that butt pasta is.
The bacon
Yeah.
blue cheeseburger.
What did you
was-
think of the bacon blue cheeseburger?
I like it, but I like blue cheese. If you don't like blue cheese,
You're not going to like
you're cooked.
it. Yeah, that
And
you
those
really need
little,
to like blue cheese.
I don't know if they're arancini. It was like cheese and broccoli. Those were great too. If you want one of those.
You guys are talking about like people out east are like, you put ranch instead of blue cheese. They complain about that. Mustard or ketchup, not on this. Like, I put everything on everything.
Yeah,
I don't
just-
care.
just
I
lather
lived
it
out
up.
east, man. I love that east.
Where'd you live out there?
West Orange, New Jersey. Prospect Avenue.
Okay.
About 7 years.
That's a nice buffalo chicken
That's
sandwich.
dang good.
Yeah.
Really dang good.
You got to be careful. There's stuff on.
You know
the
what
top
I
there.
appreciate about
National Hockey League, what would one thing be that you would change?
Ooh.
It's a good question. Well, the question
yeah.
is one thing about the NHL he
you
would
would change.
change.
If he was commissioner, you can change one rule or one thing.
Well, I was going to say like preseason games and they just fixed that. I don't know, man.
Get rid of all
I say
sides.
shorten the season up. It's so long. It's so miserable. You start in basically late August. And if you go all the way and lose like we did, you go all, and it's every day, every other day, boom, every other day, boom, boom, boom. And they didn't stop till July. And then you take a couple weeks off and you just have to get back into it. Your body doesn't even heal. Like, it's a long year, man.
It is. And with so
Just
many
hockey hasn't
and
done
with
what
so many
basketball
teams
does, where they really rest their stars.
That's not their mindset, man.
No.
Hockey players will never think that way.
Well, until the front office says, we aren't paying these guys $65,000 a year anymore. Like, we can't risk them getting hurt. And this game doesn't matter.
It's a different mindset, basketball and hockey. Like, it's not gonna. It's
very.
the hockey guys, man. They are pissed if they don't have a shit. They'll play with broken fingers and toes, concussions. I lied about who knows how many times I was concussed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You know, just to stay in the lineup, just to be a part of it. Like, you don't want to sit out. It's just a little different. But if I'm in an NBA making $40 million a year, like, I'll sit games out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't blame them.
Are you, do you have kids?
No, I don't. I got 2 puppy dogs,
Okay.
a lovely wife, you know.
Would you let How would you feel about your kids playing hockey?
Love it.
Yeah.
What would I not want them to do? Would they, if they wanted to play football, I'd be like, go ahead, play football. It's discipline. I played football at Eureka High School. They love the coaches. They were hard on you. They make you disciplined. Yeah, you might get rocked here and there. You know, it depends on what your kid is, what's his build is like too.
You think coaches are still like that? Because I say that all the time. I think it is I get the concussion aspect of high school football, but the coaching, like having, especially for a teenage boy, to have a coach tell you you are nothing.
Yeah.
Knock
you embarrass the team.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yes.
It makes you tougher.
Makes you tougher.
Well,
absolutely.
They treated you in a way that
your mom didn't.
No, well, and now
your dad
kids are so coddled.
They are.
That they need that.
They
need it desperately. And I don't know.
That's why I just go around yelling at random kids.
That's what I do too.
You know, because somebody's got to.
Exactly.
Flick them.
You know, they're trying to sell me lemonade. I'm giving them the finger.
Throw it at them.
You know, they got to learn. The world isn't just going to make life easy for them.
Play sports, interact with others, be social, and whatever your kid. I wouldn't force him to do anything. But if he was a good athlete, I'd have him play as many sports as possible, and then figure out what you want to do. Do you want to play football?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd rather you play hockey, but you do your thing. Where the parents now are like, no, this is what you're doing. And some kids are like, I don't want to do this, and they force it.
You know how you see these football players that get out and they're basically, disabled. A lot of
them. Yeah.
Is hockey as bad?
Doesn't seem to be.
Football's a little different, and they've changed a lot of things in football. Well, here's how you look at it. What sport can you play for a long time, and then when you retire, you're a pretty dang good golfer? Hockey players are still able to move. I go to these big tournaments, pro player events, whatever, and you'll have hockey guys, you'll have baseball guys, baseball, hockey, basketball guys, they hit the ball. Football guys can't move their hips.
No, but hockey players
can't move their hips.
Hockey players are the best pro athletes in terms of how it translates to golf, isn't it?
Probably, you would think. At least Happy Gilmore. This is the Happy Gilmore rule.
It's like the skateboarding, snowboarding sort of thing. It's similar enough.
Yeah, because they all do it. My mom and dad didn't get me into golf. I wish they would have.
You're a good golfer now?
What?
He don't look like a good golfer. I
could do it. Am I good? No. Depends on how many drinks I'm going to have. Am I normal?
He's a big guy.
Yeah, like if I'm normal, I'll be okay. But if I had kids, though, I'd get them into golf. I really would. Yeah. It's such a cool thing to do.
You're right.
Business-wise.
Tennis.
Look at you.
How often do we say we wish we were better at it?
Tennis and
so
golf.
that we could,
I didn't know.
And all you need to be for a golfer is you got to be good enough that everyone's not like, oh, shit, we're playing with Andy today.
Keep it simple.
Right, you play some kind of a best ball type of thing, and you just hold your own.
If you're pretty good at golf, a lot of people look at you, they're like, oh, he's good at golf. He's a golfer. You get bragged about.
Let me tell you why people don't mind golfing with me. Number one, I keep it light.
He pays.
But more importantly, I never look for a ball. So I keep things going fast. I'll go through 36 balls on a course. I don't care. If I don't see it with my naked eyes, I'm putting a ball down. So I am not slowing things down.
When was the last time you played golf?
Okay, I get it. I mean, does Top Golf count? Because I'll swing the clubs pretty good.
You know how to hit. Yeah,
I go out once in a while, once in a blue moon. Like my dad. Even my dad still golfs 3-4 times a week.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore too? Since you brought it up,
I have not watched the whole thing.
It's a cameo.
I saw
If you like cameos, I
fell asleep.
The first one's really good. The second one, I'm like, okay, it just was too much.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you like cameos and you want cameos, there you go.
It feels like too many.
We discussed that on.
It's 30 years later. You're looking at it like 18 to 20-year-old. It's amazing.
Yes, there it is.
You know who I noticed?
Now we can't keep talking to people who don't have mics.
No, but you know what? But we can repeat what they're saying.
What else is going on over there?
The big surprise of Happy Gilmore 2, though, was MJF. Played his son, who is he is a huge wrestler in AEW.
Yeah.
It's Maxwell
Jacob Friedman.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's a Jewish professional wrestler. He's phenomenal. He's this big presence in the ring, big personality, perfect for professional wrestling. but he's an entertainer.
Is
and
that number 2, Goldberg, and then, or was Goldberg not Jewish?
I think he was Jewish. Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought even with a name like Goldberg.
When you think of
How many Brody?
You think
professional
Now I'm doing it. I'm
wrestlers.
talking off camera. How many Jewish professional wrestlers have there been?
I think there have been, I think, a surprising number.
Most of them.
Remember, it's entertainment.
Most of them are
That's right.
Jewish.
Still our business.
Most of them.
But MJF, I predicted the first time I ever saw him wrestle, and I saw his whole persona, I say this guy's going to be huge. He will be a household name eventually. So mark my words, MJF.
Now,
Maxwell Friedman.
You have a lot of
He's gonna be
hockey
big.
players that won't play on Rosh Hashanah.
Are there any? Are there more black hockey players or
I know
Jewish
there's-
hockey players?
That's a
More
really
what?
good question.
Black hockey players or Jewish hockey?
No,
Nowadays,
Jewish.
I think really.
Could you make
Because
a
I thought
team?
there was a real
Lot of
surge
kids from
in,
the East
in
Coast.
black hockey players.
we're talking under 10 of
This
both,
is so funny.
right?
I would say Jewish.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Well, we'll never be president.
That is cool.
but
We have to
maybe
figure that out
we'll-
next
You know
time.
what?
you
I
come
bet
on.
you the Canadian
look that
Jews
up.
like Shatner and Seth Rogen.
We'll
I know-
never
I
be
know a bunch.
president, but maybe we'll win a Stanley Cup.
You know, hey, I don't rule us out. We could eventually
But you
get the
will definitely
presidency.
win the Stanley Cup
They may
before
already
they're
have.
the
I bet you
president
they already
of the
have.
year.
I'm sure.
Really?
Sure.
You must know off the top of your head how many
He knows.
Jewish.
There's a lot more than you think.
That's surprising because in most
A lot more than
in
you think.
most professional sports,
Look it
there
up.
are.
That's what you got to do.
lot more than you
ever
We're still
been-
going back to like Sandy Koufax when we're
exactly.
looking for
Yeah, yeah,
baseball
yeah.
players. There really are very
We
few.
gotta look that up though next time on our
surprised.
show.
Yeah,
Are you
he's
a
looking it up now.
professional
He'll find
wrestling
it for us.
fan?
What's that now?
Professional wrestling fan?
I'm into. I mean,
15, at least 15.
at least 15 in it
Yeah,
though.
at least 15.
15
Currently
what?
in the
What
NHL.
about it?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Have
That's
any of them
shocking.
been on a Stanley Cup winning team? They must have.
Wow.
You look
They
up
must.
Jews who have won the
Is
Stanley
that
Cup.
current?
Just look up Jews.
Okay.
That-
Yeah,
that-
Jews don't have done anything.
We like to know, you know.
Have any Jews climbed Mount Everest?
Oh yeah.
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 Would you guys ever do that? Like, you ever think about the
I don't even like
No,
climbing
I
the
don't.
stairs.
Can't
No,
do it.
You know
No,
what?
it's
I think
scary.
climbing
I take
Mount
the
Everest,
elevator.
if you know anything about it,
It's
it's
7?
despicable.
It's despicable, and they trashed the
Vicky
whole mountain.
says 7
what I'm
Jews
saying.
have won the Stanley Cup.
They're-
What's up?
Because they don't even carry their
They don't-
stuff back down.
Nope.
They just leave it there.
They
bags
don't- they
of
don't bring-
garbage,
It's
bags
garbage
of feces,
everywhere.
dead bodies.
They don't
That's-
bring bodies
No,
back.
it's
No,
crazy.
you gotta
And
pick
the
up
poor
a
Sherpas have
cleaner.
to, because it's all people that don't know what they're doing, and they
Sherpas.
want to go up there and they think they could do
Right.
this, and they get caught in jams, and other people get caught up in jams because of those people.
Yeah.
They trash everything. It's disgusting.
And the Sherpas are like,
Sherpas
these
like,
guys
okay.
act like they train for a year and they've accomplished something. The Sherpas like run up and down
With
3 times a
nothing.
day
With nothing.
with
With
a
nothing.
donkey on
That's
their
just
back.
like the people that when I went skydiving.
Yeah.
And you have all this equipment and all this stuff on you, but then there's another guy who jumps out and videotapes you going down. He's just wearing t-shirt and shorts.
Yep.
He's t-shirt and shorts and a camera in
Yeah.
his head. He jumps out of the plane like it's nothing.
There is a friend of mine who lives up east. You know what the Appalachian Trail is? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's about 2,200 miles long.
Wow.
He runs into a guy who's trying to break the record, says he's doing it in under 40 days. And when I did the math, and the Appalachian Trail, like up and down,
They
has
go
like
from Maine to Georgia.
500,000 feet of vertical,
Yeah.
Holy
right?
cow.
And 40 days is about 55 miles a day.
Oh, that's
that's
tough.
right.
to
And I'm
do.
like,
Wow.
that's not possible. You can't do it. People have done it in like 40, 41 days. The reason I thought of it is because I suspect the only way to do that is you have people following you with your gear. You've
Oh,
got to
you
be the
can't
guy
take
in
your own
shorts and
gear.
a t-shirt
Yeah.
if you're making 55 miles a day.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you could do it. Even if you could do it in 1 or 2 days, how do you do it for 40 days?
55 miles a day.
That's
for,
a tough. Even on an ATV, that stuff.
You know,
Yeah, right. Seriously,
Seriously,
it take
yeah.
a lot out of you.
any Jew that climbs Mount Everest can get laid anytime they want.
Yeah, but amongst two.
I mean, that's a little
handful
that's
of
a little,
yentas.
it's
No,
a
I think
little
it's-
known fact.
No, I think any Jew that climbs Everest can get a bank job.
All I know is this. I don't know how I'm going to die, but I know how I'm not going to die. And it
know,
won't be
Everest.
climbing Mount
I agree.
Everest.
It would take
Although
a
remember when
very-
that witch gave you that fortune cookie that said he'll die on Mount
On
Everest?
Mount Everest.
The only way
I don't
is
know
if,
how
like,
it'll happen.
Don't even mess with that.
he'd have to be
I'd have to
picked up
jump
by
out of a
mega
plane.
tornado.
I don't want to get hurt anymore. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now. I don't want to be injured.
What's
I don't
your-
want to
what's
Physically
your-
hurt,
yeah,
or you mean of the heart?
everything.
You don't want
what's
your
your-
heart
I don't
broken.
want-
I don't want my heart broken.
me. I mean, that
What
crushed
is
me.
your worst injury?
I would say I cracked my sternum one time, and it was god awful. Like,
It's bad.
Is that
you can't
is that
breathe.
like cracking a rib except worse?
I couldn't breathe. I think it stabbed my lungs. It was really, really bad. Probably concussion overall. Although my head's fine, like I feel, right now it is, but I took a lot of punches. I only had one recorded concussion, but you never know what all that piles up to, and for
But you're good for
20 years.
now.
But
right
you
now, I'm
seem-
good.
Today's a good day.
You seem pretty sharp. We've spoken with other
Not even
former
wearing a
athletes
diaper.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
seem as sharp.
Well, I'm
What am I
wearing a
doing?
diaper.
Hey, you know what? Just to reflect on these sandwiches for a minute.
Man.
I just, because they were all very good, but for me personally, the one that I would get if I went back
Don't tell
tomorrow
me.
is
First
Buffalo
one.
chicken.
No,
the pork
first
loin.
one.
Pork loin sandwich.
Really?
I love that's my son, and he knows me.
I thought
he's a
the
Jew,
Buffalo
too. That
chicken was
makes
very
it
good.
even
And that's
better.
why the thing is,
A lot of
a pork tenderloin sandwich is just proof positive that keeping kosher makes no sense. That's why I never kept kosher. Because
A lot of
listen,
very
bacon's
Jewish
delicious.
podcasts.
I think that-
Bacon is delicious, but a
Heavily
pork
Jew-
tenderloin
Well, in honor
sandwich
of our guests.
is a joy. What's your favorite sandwich?
You are Jewish.
Which one would
right?
you have if you
He
ordered
is.
it tomorrow?
I like that
Although
burger
sort of looks like
with the
it a little
bacon,
The black and blue.
Yes.
The nose could
The
be
bacon blue cheeseburger.
You're Jewish, of course. Well, tell us about
look
your
Jewish?
bar mitzvah.
You know what? Actually, you do a little bit, but that could have been hockey derived.
You know
Really?
what? You look
'Cause
like
my nose? 'Cause
No,
my nose-
you
Oh,
have a Jewish nose.
Do I?
That's had a nose job.
It looks like a
face.
fixed
I
Jewish
feel
nose.
like-
It's a nose
I think I
job.
look more like.
No, he's got to look at the side. Turn side. Look at that nose. That's
Look
a
at that
Jew
schnoz,
nose
baby.
job.
I don't know. If we put you in a butcher's outfit, maybe
We
you
put you
look
in
like a
we put
kosher
you in a
butcher.
lineup.
I do have one. I do get a big nose.
Let me ask you one other thing.
up?
Have you ever seen a UFO?
Oh God, he asks everybody who comes. You're lucky he hasn't
I
asked you to
bet
take
you
your
we
shirt
all
off
have,
yet.
and we don't even know it.
But have you ever have you?
I don't think so, but I think about it all the time, and I bet you we probably have, and you just didn't notice it.
Have you ever had one of those supernatural moments where something happens that convinces you that there's something more going on here than what it seems? Some crazy coincidence. that you're like,
Supernaturally, you get what I've been through different little cabins at the Lake of the Ozarks back in the day where as a kid you'd feel something like, what is going on here? But I do believe in all that
that a
stuff. Do I believe in
scoutmaster?
ghosts? No, I'm not a ghost guy, although I love reading about it. I love ghost stories. I used to read all Stephen King. Used to love his stuff.
He's great.
Little
He's gonna be on
Towns and
next
Derry,
week.
all that stuff. He's kind of nerdy now, but I was obsessed with my mom and dad would watch like horror movies when I was a kid. I watched The Exorcist when I was like 7 years old.
a scary
And
movie.
I was afraid of demons, not ghosts. That's a demon.
Yeah.
That's going to control you. Like a
Although
demon's
if
going
there
to
are
get demons.
demons, there are ghosts.
But I believe in
that's true.
aliens
Why would
for
there be
sure.
one and not the
Well,
other?
when you
Well,
Now,
yeah,
when
but
you
those
say you
demons are
believe
scary.
Ghost
in
is
aliens.
anybody.
Yes.
You know,
I feel like there are two questions with
Yeah, go
aliens.
ahead.
I believe that there is life somewhere
Sure.
out there. There's an almost
Like in
infinite
Granite
number
City.
of places there could be. So
We're the only one?
So
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
The question to me is, do you think they have made it to Earth where we can see their ships or they've descended down to
Probably
Earth?
staring at us right now.
I don't
but
know.
We,
It's
we
so
can't
far.
see them.
That's the harder part.
But look, listen to you heard of Bob Lazar? Bob Lazar. Look him up. And there's so many military guys too that worked at Area 51 and
Yeah,
whatnot.
there's a lot of
And
that.
He recorded so many different things and he got kicked out. He just has an interesting story. His
I
name's
know
Bob
who he is.
Lazar.
Yeah.
Check him out. He's an interesting guy. His story's it's pretty bizarre, but I believe him. And then you got more and more people. I don't know what to think of it yet. Now you have people saying it's a spiritual thing, where it's all connected to religion and stuff, and it's really complex. I'm not there yet, but there's something out there, and probably something zoomed by for the last 20 minutes. We can't see it because
There's
our
a lot.
technology's there, but they're probably there inspecting us.
Clearly a lot we don't know.
We don't know,
It would be
dude.
very
They are
arrogant
not
to
there.
think. Yeah.
Of course.
What about, did you ever listen to the podcast, The Telepathy Tapes?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
but I will.
Yeah, no,
So
it's
this is interesting because it's not necessarily supernatural. So it's basically a woman who got interested in kids on the autism spectrum who were nonverbal. And they would do all of these experiments where these kids could like read their parents' minds, and then ultimately got to a place where these kids would talk about like meeting other people on a place called the Hill, not a place that existed in the physical world, but somehow like they would like go to the room and cover their heads so all, they didn't hear any outside noise. And the claim is that like there was this kid who would, some of them can talk like via an iPad, and would tell his parents about a girlfriend he had that he met on this place called the Hill. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And so I guess he gave them enough identifying information that they call, like he lives in, let's say, Chicago. They call his family in like Seattle, and they're like, hey, this is a little weird, but our son says that your daughter is his girlfriend, and they meet, and they ask her, and they're like, oh yeah, I know Charlie, that's my boyfriend.
Yes.
And it's like crazy stuff like that. And I don't know if it's supernatural, but I feel like if you can accept that, if you take my basketball playing ability and Michael Jordan, and you look at how different that is and the delta there must be people who are using their mind in a way far
That's not
greater
far-fetched.
than the way I'm using mine.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
are capable of things that are just
People are doing
unexplainable.
incredible things.
I think
not
so.
us.
Well,
But that's fine.
We're doing incredible things.
You guys are
we're
doing
doing
incredible
okay
things.
things.
Let me ask you one other question. How'd you meet your wife?
It's a good question.
We went to high school together.
What high school?
And
What
I
high
was
school?
trying to find my groove. I'm trying to brag to everybody that I'm a hockey player. I was like, my buddies knew what I was. I'm like, so I never got to talk. She was beautiful, hung out with all the, cool girls. She was on the dance team, Golden Line. We're all dressed up where all the guys are like, So she was on that team. I remember walking by her in the hallway, seeing her. I'm like, God, and then I move away and stuff like that. We really never talked too much. And then one time I saw her out when I was playing for the Blues with me and my buddies. I go, what? I go, God, there's Kate. And so we kind of met up about, 10, 15 years later. I already got through what I needed to get through. I was like 29 at this point. So I had a good run of, doing whatever I needed to do. And so we met back up, and, it took a while because she heard about me, and, I wasn't at that time like ready for a relationship yet, but I didn't want to lose her, and so we started dating, and kind of, she changed a couple things I needed to change, which I needed at the time, and then we've been together since 2011.
And what's the best thing about her?
That she loves me unconditionally.
That's very sweet. While we're on the topic of women, let me ask you. Well, let me obviously listen. As non-professional, as non-professional athletes, we look at that world, and our assumption is that all of these professional athletes, because they're in great shape and they tend to be good-looking and they're powerful, all the things that the women seem to like, that the women are plentiful. What psychologically, what is that dynamic from, being a teenager and having to do like every other guy does and trying to get women interested, and then all of a sudden this crossover happens when you become a professional athlete? Is it as dramatic as I'm imagining, to where it's as if you're a brand new person in the world and the world has just opened up its doors to you?
It started, I was always pretty good about it, but I didn't have enough confidence. We didn't have money and stuff like that. I was just trying to prove myself until I started playing Major Junior in Canada. And I was in Windsor, Ontario, and I'm 16, 17 years old. I get drafted by this team. There's about 100,000 people in this town in Windsor. It's right next to Detroit. And it's all about the Windsor Spitfires. Everybody goes to the game. You're on TV, you're in the paper. And I became really popular really fast because I was this American kid. And I'm fighting everybody, taking my shirt off like Twister did back in the day. Right. Flexing is all on YouTube. There's some funny thing. Flexing for like, I just put on a show and you become popular. And then it becomes easy. Now, are they beautiful in Windsor, Ontario? No. But I like the older women. Like they would, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And you grow up quick, and you're full of piss and vinegar and testosterone. And finally now you have things coming at you. And then when I was 18, I got drafted by the Devils, and they signed me, and my signing bonus was $250,000. So I was going to high school in Windsor, and I got $250,000, so $70,000 paychecks every like 2 months or whatever it was. So now I have money. So then you have popularity and money. So I buy a house in Eureka, Missouri, right next to my parents. My neighbors moved out when I was 18. I had the money to put a down payment on a house right next to my parents. So now I have a house at 18 where everybody's still in high school, my buddies, and they're going to college. They're broke as hell, and I got this coin.
Oh, that's fun.
I know. So that helped too.
Yeah.
You know, anyway.
Now,
A continuation
It sounds just like being a lawyer.
a little
You
bit
guys
of a
make more money than I do.
continuation of that question. You know, when you're young, the idea of being a professional athlete or a rock star or whatever, that, you know, that's a fantasy many young kids have.
Oh, yeah.
I still have it.
But being an adult, being an adult and looking at what that life actually is on the road all the time. You talk about how long the season is, especially you go deep into the playoffs. That did that get, you know, does that wear on you? Is that tough being in a new city every couple days? And I mean, just I think it's a hassle just to pack when you got to go out of town for a day. To have to do that twice, 3 times a week.
And then fight different people.
Yeah.
That wore me out. And another thing, and I'll be honest, I got addicted to painkillers really bad.
Yeah.
And if you ever know about opioids and what they do to you when you are addicted and you go cold turkey and you don't have any more left, it makes you feel like you have the flu. You know how you feel when you have the flu?
Yeah.
You're yellow,
like
you're
crap,
gross,
yeah.
you're doing things out of everywhere. Imagine that and times it by 10 and then add on depression like you cannot believe. So I was juggling all kinds of stuff, fighting, staying in the lineup, doing this, and now I'm addicted to these damn painkillers. And if you run out on the road and you're on the road for a week, now I'm like this, like shaking, like, oh God.
Play?
Then I went out there and fought a guy for 3 minutes and just suck it up. It was god awful.
How did you break out of that?
I had to get on Suboxone.
Yeah.
You did what?
Suboxone. Is a lifesaver.
is that like
I tried to do a cold turkey.
Must be.
It blocks the opiate receptors,
Exactly.
right?
It blocks the
Is it totally take the? I mean, is it
totally takes
so?
it away.
How do you feel on that?
Like this. I'm a hardcore guy. I had to take Suboxone when I was still fighting. I get sent down the minors and I try to get off and I'm taking a Suboxone, so it makes you blah. It wasn't, I'm not me, so I had to force it even more and have to suck it up even more. It aged me so bad. My hair was falling out. I remember I'm trying to, and now you have to get off Suboxone. Now you got to get off Suboxone. You know, you look at your bank account and I'm like, did I save enough money? Like, what am I doing? I got to finally get off these things. So no, like, it's not all here. My ups and downs were so gigantic. I'd be up on top of the world, feeling like and then I'd be down here like, oh God. It was tough.
Was that from an
now
injury?
I'm just like this. Yeah, I was an animal with whatever. Like I was disciplined, so disciplined in my workouts and working on my game, but I was partying with my buddies. Like my parents are lenient. I mean, I was doing crazy things, but I got addicted. I ripped my shoulder out when I was 21 years old. I had a house in New Jersey. I'm a kid. I ripped my shoulder out in a fight against George Peros. He rips my shoulder out. When you're hurt at the time, you're not around the team. They were going on the road for 2 weeks. I'm sitting in my house by myself and I'm eating these painkillers like freaking Skittles, eating them like Skittles. And I didn't even know about them. Like, and all of a sudden you're eating 170 of these things and you stop and you're like, oh God, like, what is this? What's going on? And then, so I had no guidance. I mean,
back then it was before anybody realized
it was
the severity
early
of it.
2000s.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that big thing yet where they're really keeping an eye on you when it comes to that stuff. You don't want to tell anybody because you don't want to get jammed up. Maybe like, well, we don't need to deal with this. We're going to get rid of you. Although they wouldn't have done that.
How were you getting?
I lied to everybody. What's up?
How were you getting it?
Oh man!
Back then, I think any doctor would
doctors. You go doctor shopping, and then you buy it off the black market. I spend $100,000.
That's right. Just check with my mom.
What?
Yeah, you go through. When you're,
Just check with my mom. She'll get you anything you need.
It's expensive too.
What was the turning point? What motivated you?
I overdosed twice.
Oh,
I was with my wife, and this was before I got on Suboxone. And I'm looking, I'm like running out. I'm like, oh, I got buddies coming in town. We're going to Lake of the Ozarks. This is 2013.
Yes, you're on the Devils at this point.
I think I was at the Devils at this point.
did your wife know? Did she understand what was going
knew.
on?
She knew,
Okay.
but she she didn't. You only say so much at a time. Like you hide everything from everybody.
It was also a very different time than today.
Sure, and you just learn a lot. But I ran out, and so I had to buy it off the black market, and I got these different kind of painkillers, and they weren't opioids. They were God, I forget, tramadol. And all you guys out there, if you know tramadol, I ate too many of them, and if you eat too many of them, you go right into seizure.
Oh, geez.
So I just get done. I pull in. I remember Kate and I are in my Corvette. I pull in the driveway in my little house in Eureka next to my parents, and I get out of the Corvette, and I fall, bam, and I go into seizure mode, bam, and I'm like, I just got done driving her. Like that's gonna happen.
Right.
Driving home, like, I'm in this car that's not protected. It's not an SUV. This thing, you punch a hole right through the damn thing, and it was my first one, and then. Neighbors came over. No one told anybody. Didn't get out. My neighbors are sweet. I'm in a little blue-collar subdivision. Everybody was over there. Ambulance comes. Everybody's like, but no one filmed it. No one did any of that. And then I went to the hospital, got checked out. Couldn't figure out what it was, although I knew. And then it happened again a month later. And I had to go get help at that point. So
that's awesome.
Wow, that's good. I mean,
sorry to be so depressing. It's all good.
But you know what,
dude, I just got rocked by it.
But
And if people
ultimately, it's a good
learn from
story.
it. I want people to learn from this.
No, I
Because
appreciate
now
it.
you're
Sharing.
very healthy.
I don't even think about them anymore.
You
Don't
brought
even
up
think about it.
another interesting topic in there, and I've always wondered this with professional athletes. You talked about, do I have enough money set aside for when I'm going to retire or live out my life? Because that's the challenge as an athlete. No matter how good you are, you have a shelf life. You have this many years to make as much as you can, and then you got to figure out how to stretch that money to last a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a paradigm for that? Is there training for the players? Do people work with them on money management?
Big time.
So how does that work? What does that look like? It doesn't, because people still, you make money, you want to blow the money.
You think these guys from Melodorsk, Russia, that come over here and they all of a sudden get all this money are going to be like, no, they spend on whatever. Like when I first got and you're a kid. I had a financial advisor. I was living such a high dream life that I thought nothing could ever beat me until it does, right?
Yeah.
And I'll make more. I'm getting older. I'm going to sign another contract. I just had that happy-go-lucky, which helped me in ways, but also hurt me in ways. But I also made some pretty good investments. I had this nice little cute house right next to my parents. They took care of everything. You sold that for 3 times as much whenever we sold it to move into, a nice golf course. So
but you're a kid,
I did
your
things.
brain isn't even formed enough to even make those decisions.
I didn't go to school. I dropped out in 9th grade because I knew I was playing,
Tell me if you think this is controversial, if you agree with me.
Stopped going to school basically in 9th grade. I just went to school to hang out, really. Was what it was, which is not good.
With the NIL deals they give in college, I was just having this conversation. I don't think that these kids should be able to make the money. I'm all for that. But I think there should be a cap on what they're allowed to access. I don't think it's healthy for college athletes who the vast majority of them will never touch a professional sport, and they're getting $2, $3, sometimes more, $5 million a year. Maybe $100,000 a year. Like $100,000 a year as a college student, you can live really pretty well. I don't think it's healthy for a college kid to have $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
And if you put it away, then they might actually have some money. And people say that's paternalistic.
It is, but to say that like it's a bad thing. But sometimes you need a father.
That's on
in
them.
the NCAA.
It's on them. You can't. I look at it like these guys are bringing in so much money for the school. The school has so much money loaded.
Yeah.
They deserve to get paid.
They should get it.
They should get paid.
It should just be in some
Be
sort of
mandatory
protected account until they're old. So they make all the money.
22, 23 years old.
Right. They make the money, but they're limited to $100,000 a year that they can access. And the rest is in a trust until they're 25, 30, 35.
25, I would say.
Yeah. So I just feel like at that age, your brain is literally not done forming until you're what, 23, 24,
do you think it's going to cost us though?
For any young person who comes into my
No, because there aren't.
Well, a lot of child actors makes me think of child actors having
but there
that.
aren't
Like Justin Bieber,
organizations
stuff like that made money at a
Made a lot of money.
really
There's
young
no way
age.
to govern that. Like the NCAA has rules.
And you can act your whole life until you die, where even if you're the best professional athlete in the world, 42 years old is pretty much the absolute
but
max.
most of these
And you
kids-
still got to live the rest of your life.
Like look at, for instance, Livy Dunn. You know who she is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she was, for a while, the highest paid NIL athlete in
Really?
the NCAA. And she's a very attractive young cheerleader, right? And she was making like $5-6 million a year.
Wow.
There isn't really a professional sport for her to go into.
No.
This is
There you go. He's in line for $500 million.
right.
Yeah.
But she may not have been.
But she's
You know what
making
I
so
mean?
much money.
Wow.
She's in commercials.
She
So
could
she
have
doesn't have-
ended up.
she doesn't
I
need to
did
be a
not realize
professional
that was
athlete
Paul
anymore.
Skeen's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
dude.
Paul Skeens and Brody they were born on the same day.
Really?
He's a stud.
Yeah, May 29, 2002.
So she landed
Skeens
on her
is doing a
feet,
little
but it
better.
could have gone the other
But she
way.
can still make money. Like, she's doing commercials. She's
Yeah,
already big enough to
for now.
doing that at LSU. But I mean,
If she had married
she has options. She has more
If she
options
had
than
married-
99% of the people around.
Frank Skeens,
they're never gonna-
his
they're
cousin,
never
she's not.
who sells windows at Window World.
They're never
in
gonna-
5
She's
years,
not.
she's not
I
doing
listen, I
commercials.
think
I
it's
wouldn't
a
worry about
problem.
her. I think she's going to be okay. I'm not worried about Livy.
But do you think the NIL money is going to cost us getting a chance to see the best athletes on the biggest stage? In other words, you have to imagine that some of what motivates athletes to stay focused, stay on their game, and be the best they can be is that they haven't gotten paid yet, and they're trying to make it to the higher level, and it's going to keep them focused. But if you're going to give them that much money in college, are they going to get lazy? Are they going to get fat? Are they going to be as
Well, they'll stay in
motivated?
college
What's
at least.
the most anybody gets?
In college,
I think
there's.
Archie-
I think there's. Oh, yeah, Archie.
I think he made like 6, almost.
Yeah.
No. I think Arch Manning is the highest paid
She made three.
NIL athlete this year, and I think it's almost $7 million.
Okay, $7 million.
It's a lot.
Shador
That's a
made like
tremendous amount at that
5 too.
age. But do you think it'll cost us?
Sure. For the NFL, where they already got their cookies. Like, imagine like all these unbelievable college athletes, even like Johnny Manziel, but he grew up. I'm feeling sorry for him. How much money he missed out on.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, there's so many other guys. But yeah, I like what's going on. Except for the transfer pool stuff, it gets complicated. But for sure, until you make that money, you're really pushing. I mean, that's the only thing on your mind. Like, I want to have a nice thing. I mean, if you grow up poor and your parents fight about money, like money isn't everything unless you don't have it. Like, it really is true. Like, you're unhealthy. Like, it costs money to be healthy.
they
It
talk
costs
about-
money to get this. Costs
But
money.
do you think
so
you
do lose a little
It
bit.
is the number one argument amongst couples
right, but
in the
100%.
world,
But,
probably.
but
in the
what
world.
is what is the goal?
What do you mean?
Is to have a better Sunday NFL game to watch?
Well, I think the goal is we want the best athletes to be the ones competing.
at the highest level.
But do you think you're going to ever be able to tell the difference between the NIL players and the pre-NIL?
Yeah, well, all I can say is
do you
just
think it's
let
gonna
me
be-
say this. I'm a big baseball guy, and you know, baseball, you don't make your money up front.
right,
You have to
right.
be playing at the major league level for
Right.
many years
Some
before
of
you
these
get your
kids
big
will take a
payday.
huge pay cut.
And that's what I'm saying is that, but
they
we
will.
know, but we see it. We know that this is a truth. That there are some athletes that once they get their big contract, their performance dips,
Now,
and other ones
yeah,
it
there
doesn't.
is, but
what
it's
you
a lot
also
of
might
them.
But
see
see, it's not going to ruin it for you.
is
Well, I
was
want to know I'm
Johnny-
seeing the best of the best.
You brought up Johnny Manziel. Was he from a wealthy family?
Yes.
See, if he had come from a poor family, he may not have done what he did. You know, because he didn't need it. He wasn't hungry. If he didn't have any money, he may not have acted the way he acted.
But he would have made a ton of money if he had NIL.
big
That's
time.
what I'm saying.
But you know, but that's like the.
yeah, a lot of guys did.
But he may have had a way more successful professional career
For sure.
if his parents didn't have money.
No doubt.
Because he wouldn't have done all
He
that.
was a
'cause-
spoiled little kid.
But this,
that's a good
That's
answer.
right.
That's
And I
the
think
thing.
that's where you'll see. You'll see people,
No,
not necessarily the level of play worse. You'll probably see more people who fizzle out and never end up playing.
There
Like,
it is.
I
And-
wonder
and
what'll
longevity.
happen to Shador Sanders because he's made a fortune. I bet he's worth more than Dion, to be honest with you right now.
Probably already made more than Dion did. I know Dion signed as a corner, was one of the highest paid.
He had like
But the salaries are so
There
much
was-
higher now
oh
than
my
they
Somebody
were
told
then.
me he has like a $17 million contract for football cards, Shador, which is insane. How could...
So that's close to 20, Andy.
But so he's got that. He made NIL money. He's got,
but
I think,
wait.
an Adidas.
That's a lot of money.
But wait,
I mean, he's got a lot going on.
This
It does.
but this isn't a big problem. worried that some college kid has so much money and he'll waste it. There's a lot of worse.
But it's also like
a lot of worse.
Waste it back in the community. And,
I mean, there's a lot of.
Just because it's not the biggest problem, like you go to a restaurant and your French fries are cold. There are bigger problems, but you're still not happy about it.
You want the hot fries.
Yeah, but this is not something that really.
There are bigger problems the world faces.
Bigger problems. Yeah. I mean, find me a smaller problem.
What do you think
that people have too much money?
Then to hell with it.
There it is right there.
Cam, what would you do about Russia and Ukraine?
I mean, he's an athlete. Make a peace deal.
He's a professional athlete. We're going to ask him about professional athletes.
That's right. What do you think about Russia and Ukraine?
You have the answer.
We don't get political on this show.
It's not political. It's not our business.
We need a peace deal. I want peace.
We all want peace. You know what's remarkable?
Isn't that great? You want
everybody does.
And if you know, but if
9/11, after 9/11, I was probably thinking a little different. Like war was, and then after all that, what happened throughout the years, I'm like, let's stay out of as much as possible.
There always has to be a better way
because he's had the ultimate unpeace.
He's had unpeace,
or almost the ultimate. He didn't kill anybody. But
I grew up in Eureka, man. A lot of people were in the military for sure. And, not in 2005, a lot of my buddies died over there, kicking door downs, in the middle of the desert. So, it's going to be, there's going to be war and there's going to be peace. We just want as much peace as possible in our lifetime.
We got any cookies?
What up?
No.
Wait, she's moving.
No. Do not have a hockey team. Do not have a hockey team.
Cookies?
No.
Hidden Valley was out there,
yeah,
though.
My buddy, the Boyds, Josh Boyd was my buddy who owned that place.
Yeah?
Pretty cool.
Did you ski out there? Are you a skier or a snowboarder?
Well, I couldn't because I was playing.
Oh.
But I love to ski. I would love to be able to. I did, when I was really young, I was able to do it, and I picked up on it right away because it's kind of like hockey, stopping and whatnot. But I'd love to have a mountain home. On a ski in, ski out.
They still there?
Let's all chip in.
Yeah, let's go.
So you still don't ski, or you haven't picked it up now?
I haven't picked it up back up yet, but I would.
You only got a couple years left.
I know, because it takes a lot out of you.
He's only 41. You're still skiing. You're 54.
Yeah, but I'm not picking it up at this age.
Yeah. I think I could I'd have to go slow. I think I could pick it up pretty good.
You could.
But like,
skate and all that stuff. Until you're like 50.
No.
Because really the thing about
if it was
that's right.
How you get hurt. Nasty injuries.
That's about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, is when maybe 2 years ago is when I started all right, now it's time to slow down. Because they have these apps now that tell you how fast you're going. And at first you're like, oh, I know I can hit 65 miles an hour. And then like a year or two later, you're like,
no.
60, 65 miles.
Hurt.
Right. And when you go 60 miles an hour.
You can go 60 miles an hour skiing?
You can, and I have a couple of times.
Scary.
And I will never, ever do it. No, never. I try to really stay under 40 now, which is reasonably slow for a decent skier.
Wait, can I interrupt for 1 second? Turn to your right. No,
not all the way. He wants to show Cam that you're adorable little curl.
See this little curl? Isn't that adorable? No, I'm telling you.
It is.
I wish I could do that.
It's right off of like Baby New Year.
And it's
you know who he looks like?
It's wiggling when you
Bob
talk.
Ross?
Yeah. No.
Who?
Who do you think I'm thinking of? An actor that you look like?
Annie?
No, that's not. You look like Alec Baldwin, the face.
Little bit?
Really?
Yeah, that's a
You've
compliment.
never gotten that. That's an improvement.
That's a compliment.
And what do I look like?
Let's see. Who do you look like?
You know who I look
Stephen
like?
Baldwin.
Burl Ives. Remember Burl Ives?
Burl Ives was not a bad-looking guy. He was a big guy. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, he was the old man.
Listen, you look better than Elizabeth Taylor did.
Parting words or
mid-80s.
wisdom for us.
Well, what do I have? Well, I'm glad you're on board. And Brody, we're going to have a good time on Tuesdays hanging out on the radio.
Right. We go.
Have me on
the
anytime.
podcast.
We can make it
I am not a professional wrestling fan. I was when I was younger. I know absolutely nothing about it. I haven't watched it in I don't know how many, probably decades, not years. And I've listened to every episode. I love it. I honestly, legitimately, if I didn't, I wouldn't say anything. It is so entertaining. I think Brody is phenomenal.
Wait, hang on. Swear on my head.
Oh, you can look at my podcast app.
true.
I've listened to it.
It'll pop up on your
It is The depth of knowledge at times, and don't take this the wrong way, I find myself laughing. It's comical at times, the depth of knowledge.
You learn a lot from it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's a far more interesting sport than I ever would have thought.
There's a lot of drama, internal, just weird things that go on, and just like there's so much to it. And I like learning about the old stuff too, and just when somebody, an old school cat like Stone Cold always has people on. He's got his podcast too, and is he done with that now? He's done with that now. Yeah, he's just cruising around with his kitty cats, doing his thing on his farm. Yeah. Because it's tough to have a podcast. You guys do a great job on this too, by the way. I like this. I like the style.
You coming on.
You know, and
if nothing,
you chill.
Exactly.
Although I do gotta pee like a racehorse. I'm not gonna lie to you.
When is your show on? Just plug your show.
Chemistry Podcast. We put it out on Tuesdays. We get the best hockey guests in the world on. Yeah. We get the owners. We get the GMs. We get the coaches. We get the Hall of Famers. We got Wayne Gretzky on our 99th episode. So
that's perfect.
We get everybody.
Awesome.
Is it rated R? Yes. Do I maybe curse a little too much? Yes. So I pardon.
It's hockey.
So if the kids are in a car, don't play it. We're not catering to kids on it. We like to entertain.
And
so
look
that's how
for
it is.
Cam Janssen coming to a mountain near you soon.
And every weekday morning from 8 to 10.
Every weekday morning, Hot Take Central 2.0 from 8 to 10. And Brody.
It is the best morning show in St. Louis.
Yes, it is. That's a fact, too.
That's a wrap, I think.
Yeah. All right. Good show.
You guys are great.
Bye, Saga.